Take it away.
Actually, I didn't realize I'd worn the same blouse. This was actually 2 years ago. I'm now president. So I was looking for something green to wear.
Your hair color's different.
My hair color is, I think, well, only my hairdresser knows, right? You don't tell that secret. I always wear my Breaking the Glass Ceiling pen because it makes me always remember how I got where I'm at. And just to give you a little bit of background, I have been working in politics 40 years probably. Used to take my boys, knock on doors, put hangers on. So they grew up doing politics and they don't know what it's like not to be in a family that is, you know, dyed in the wool blue. I am now your president of the National Federation of Democratic Women. I'm going to give you a lot of numbers because I love stats. I actually brought copies of everything I'm going to talk about tonight, so they're up here on the table.
Did you want me to pass them out? Or
you can, sure.
Okay.
I also own my own business, and we do democratic merchandise, buttons, bumper stickers, and that kind of thing. So I brought 4 of the catalogs, and I brought a quiz to see what you know, and the answers are on the back page, so try to answer the questions before you get to the back page, of women. I found I didn't do as well as I thought I was going to do on that quiz, but I did bring about 30 copies of it. And I brought some copies of the Communicator, which is, I only brought about 5 copies of that, but you can get it from our website too. The National Federation of Democratic Women established in 1972 where a group of women that was attending a DNC meeting in Washington, D.C. decided there needed to be a women's group. We have grown, our strongest states are in the South, which is where this all started. But I'm proud to say I'm the first one from California to be president of the National Federation of Democratic Women. Right. No one has run before, so at least I broke that ceiling for California. I'm going to read to you because, like I said, it's a lot of statistics, so I can't rely on my 66-year-old memory anymore. What I'm going to share with you is what I've learned about women's equality through the media, from Democratic women, and from my own life experience. Today, women are an integral part of the electorate. Across the United States, there are 78.1 million registered female voters, nearly 10 million more than male registered voters. And just as the Democratic Party has led the way for full and robust participation of women in politics since the passage of the 19th Amendment, Democratic leaders are leading the way toward full equality for women in all spheres of American life. Despite women's gains nationally and in the workplace, there's still room for improvement. Women continue to earn 80% for doing the same job as men, and in 2008, 28.7% of households, according to a U.S. Census Bureau, were poor. Single women, head of household, were poor. In political terms, in the 2010 congressional midterm elections was the first time since 1979 that there were fewer women in the Congress. Our House of Representatives now ranks, and I think she said 70th, we are now 90th place in the countries around the world when it comes to women in politics. 3% of the Fortune 500 companies are run by women. Only 7% of directors and 10% of writers in the top 250 largest grossing films were women. Just look at the family and gender bias in the way the Republican Congress now wants to treat women and girls in their budget cuts in these hard times. They would trash Head Start for kids, kick grandma out of the nursing home, close down women's health care, and stop funding for cancer, just to name a few. My Democratic sisters, we need to gather our women friends and join the National Federation to help take back America and win the fight for the full equality of women. Imagine what the world would be like if women held an equal position of power and leadership. Are we there yet? It's particularly easy for young women today to think that we are there because they've seen so many women first in almost everything that's happened. My oldest granddaughter is 16, and to her, a woman can do anything. I mean, she's seen all these glass ceilings broken. She's Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, all of those things going on, so she doesn't know that there's a restriction. We've changed the laws in so many ways, yet I'm going to throw out some numbers now. 60, 50, 18. Women are 60% of college graduates, 50% of the workforce, and 18% of management and leadership. 3 additional numbers here, 51, 54, and 17. Women are 51% of the population, 54% of the voters, and yet we only make up 17% of Congress. Couple more numbers, 85 and 15. Did you know that women buy 85% of the consumer goods that are sold, yet they make up only 15% of the board of directors of the companies that decide what they're going to sell? Think about that. What that means is that women have a great deal of power that they don't use. This tells women that they could shape every consumer product if they just got together and decide how to use it. A couple more numbers. 15. Research tells us that women make up 50% of the byline of the opinion page of the major newspapers around the country. That's troubling until you understand that women only submit 15% of the articles. So women can't get their op-eds published until they submit them. And I recently did one for the DNC. I'm on the executive board of the DNC and the executive board of the California Democratic Party. So they've asked me to write a few pieces, and the last one I did was an op-ed for the DNC on women that was published on the anniversary of the 19th Amendment, and that went out. I'm not sure where all. They also sent me to Taiwan representing the women of the United States, and I met with all the leaders in Taiwan, and I happened to be there during elections. And I was absolutely impressed that they don't use the posters like we do. They actually have cloth flags with their pictures on them. And it was everywhere in the city. It was all women running for office. We met with the chair of they call it the Democratic, it's DPP, and I'm now trying to remember what it stands for. The first word is Democratic. They have a woman chair. They've had all women chairs almost for that party. And we met with them, and I was like, okay, we don't, in our Democratic Party, I don't think we've ever had a woman chair, ever.
No.
So, and if Tim Kaine decides to leave us and run for the Senate seat, which my friends on the DNC, the rumor is that he is going to, probably. There are 2 women's names on the list, the short list of who might replace him. So we're hoping that we get one of them. I wish he would hurry make his mind up because the rumors are out there just really going. Okay, another number, 70. Because if women stay at the current rate of progress they are now at, it will take 70 years for us to get parity. Wow. Now, I've been at this for 4 decades, and while I would like to live another 70 years, I don't think my chances are really very good of making it another 70 years to see that. So I decided that I had to do something faster, so I joined the National Federation of Democratic Women in 1995 and decided to get to work. Many leading consulting firms such as Ernst & Young have looked at companies across every sector, and they say that those that have the greater number of women in upper management and on their boards are making more money and a better return on their investment. So they're now looking at more women in upper management positions to help grow their companies. Well, for 2012, I'm fired up and ready to go. I really am. And I started looking at some other, like I said, I love some numbers. So I looked at Facebook. Newt Gingrich has 100,000 fans. Mitt Romney has 800,000 fans. And President Obama has 18.5 million fans on Facebook now.
Yes.
And I know I get them almost every day on Facebook, so if you're on Facebook. National Federation of Democratic Women also has a Facebook page that I post a lot of women things there, so you can check that out if you're on Facebook. I have a dream for 2012, and that is that together women will provide the necessary votes to re-elect President Obama, to hold the Senate and win back many more than the 25 net seats that are necessary to take back the House of Representatives. In 2010, 87 Republicans were elected to the House of Representatives, along with several hundred more to state legislators and local offices. And that was the bad news. But to add to that, the fact that every state will be implementing reapportionment to all legislative and congressional districts, and that tells us there will be a one-time spike in the opportunity for Democratic women to run in open primaries nationwide in 2012. In 2010, California Democrats will all the state offices, including Jerry Brown, and re-electing Senator Barbara Boxer to join Dianne Feinstein back in the Senate. We elected a huge majority in the state Senate, state assembly, to the House of Representatives, and a large majority. California is really the one state that has mostly women. I mean, we really do push our women, and I'm talking about both parties, not just the Democrats. We really do well representing our women out there. So I think that we women need to start believing. We need to start getting involved politically. We need to roll up our sleeves, and we need to let our imagination run wild and dare to dream the dream of full equality. And remember this one fact: the more we get women into the polls to vote, the more Democratic victories that we're going to have. I wanted to thank you for the opportunity to serve as the NFDW president from 2009 to 2011. I have termed out, so at our convention in May, we will have elections, and I will no longer be the president. But I will still be on the board as an advisor for the next 4 years. Our convention in May, I think I brought some registration forms, is going to be in Washington, D.C., May 18th through the 22nd. And I did just hear today that the First Lady is not going to be our keynote speaker, but Kathleen Sebelius will be there, and I believe Dr. Jill Biden will be there. We've got a couple of days of fun things before convention starts. We have a private White House tour on the 18th of May. And then that night we have a dinner cruise on the Potomac, dinner dance cruise. And then Thursday we're having lunch on the Hill with our congressman. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is the actual convention and election of offices. And we have some fabulous resolutions that we're going to be working on, taking back to our elected officials in our states. We have, like I said, we're celebrating 40 years of service, and we hope to be around another 140 years. And again, I'll answer questions at the end when it's open for questions. But thank you for the opportunity to come and meet with you tonight. I've really enjoyed meeting all of you. I've enjoyed hearing all the speakers and the background from all these women. And it's, like I said, I wear my Breaking the Glass Ceiling pin so that I constantly remember who went before me and why I'm here. Thank you.